Yeah, here we go again. Lecture 13. Producer was having a word with me last week. He said, you need to start reading more, give me some magazine. There's some really interesting things in this magazine you could discuss in your lectures, he told me. I had a quick look, so we'll be opening up the lecture with what is termed as a shit blister. I don't know if you heard of that, but let's talk about shit blisters, shall we? Yeah, so apparently, KD Christian, my producer, gave me some great advice. He said, there's so many things you could read and talk about in your lectures and all that. And it's good advice because these lectures are very tricky for me because I don't read anymore for some reason. I don't watch any TV very often or films. I just tend to listen to talk sport or the same music I've been listening to for 20 odd years. I'm not working, so I don't really socialise much. And once a week trying to think of something to talk about, it's fucking stretching me. It is this week anyway, because I'm feeling very subdued at the moment, and I haven't got a lot to offer really. But anyway, this is probably what he was thinking. He said, oh yeah, look at this magazine. So I started looking through it, and he said, yeah, there's an interesting article on shit blisters. Now, once a week, I got to go and spend time with this character when he tidies up the sound on this and puts his elaborate sort of touch on it. And these are the sort of magazines he's reading. Apparently there are people, what they do, God, how can I even word this? Have a shit, draw some of the shit up into a hypodermic, a needle or whatever, a syringe, inject the shit just under the skin, leave it then, obviously, can't rush these things, leave it then, settle for a while till it forms a blister, hence the name shit blister. And what they do then is go up and squeeze their blisters over somebody else. Now, I couldn't read much further past that, so I don't know if it's something that people just do as a sort of a prank, do you know what I mean? Just run up to somebody and squirt their shit blister over them and run off laughing. Or whether it's one of these things that people do to each other voluntarily, Oh, Jeffrey, do us a shit blister tonight, will you? Oh, come on, man, I did one last night. My arm's bloody stinking, man. Oh, go on, Jeff, just knock a quick one in for later. All right, then. Thanks. Right, what we'll do now, we'll have a bit of tea, we'll do the dishes, and then we'll go upstairs and you can start squirting them shit blisters all over me. Make a fucking night of it. Do you know what I mean? There are some fucking weird cunts in this world, innit? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a prude, but there's certain things which I've just never been able to see the attraction of, Well, like things like shit blisters. Do you know what I mean? Not that I'd heard of them before last Monday, but I don't know, I've given it a lot of thought this week. I thought, right, I'm not going to discuss shit blisters sort of, willy-nilly, without having a good think about it. And no, I don't know, is it the sort of thing they do on Dirty Sanchez, is it? Or what's the American one now? You all know what I mean. Yeah, but running down the street, it's like that thing. You get these prank things, videos on YouTube, and pranks in the hood. And you get these sort of skinny, white, sort of geeky guys going up to these big meathead black guys in the ghetto saying, alright mate, you fucking black twat. And then, you know, once they start leathering fuck at them, like, oh no, it's a prank. And it's like, yeah, and I'm just gonna still leather fuck out of you, you absolute prick. Do you know what I mean? So, maybe that's the only place in this world for shit blisters, you know, for some elaborate street pranksters. It's like that Jack Jones, innit? Saw a video the other day of somebody went up to him in the street, you know. Jack Jones likes to go up to people in the street and do the old pranks, innit? And somebody went up to him in the street and sort of hit him across the face with a bit of pizza or something, and Jack Jones phoned the police. Oh, I've been assaulted by a piece of pizza. Which for somebody who's, I presume, making a living out of harassing people in the street, is a bit rich, innit? So maybe you should have run up and give Jack Jones the old shit blister. And pizza. You know, like a double sort of combo. But yeah, it's fucking, I can't remember the name of this magazine. But this is the sort of thing that this KD Lang producer character listens to and reads or whatever. Absolute mayhem. There was another part, and I've told you before, you know, this is why I don't bother reading magazines and talking about them on this, because I can't remember fuck all. For some reason, the shit blister's stuck in my mind. But there was another thing. There was an island somewhere. Is it Chile or around that sort of way? And this was like, you know, a couple of hundred years ago. And yeah, they used to get kids and sort of, you know, deliberately sort of deform them and, you know, make holes in their body and, you know, have their arms sort of growing back into this, you know, proper disfiguring them. And I think the whole point was they'd use them then to frighten sort of other tribes as if, oh, look, we got this fucking evil fucking spirit, which is really just some child that we've just deformed deliberately. A bit like they do in India, don't they, when they deform or disfigure kids before they send them out begging, because apparently they bring in more money. I think it was in Slumdog Millionaire, and they burn that kid's eyes out and all that. It's like, oh, because he's blind, he'll bring more money in for the people he's out begging for. It's like, what? These things are going on this planet, the same planet that we're on now. People are pouring acid into kids' eyes. So when they force them to go out begging for them, they'll get more money because they're blind. Yeah, he can bring in £1.80 a day instead of £1.40. If we do his eyes in, it's well worth it. Fucking nuts, mind, innit? Fucking nuts. If we all knew how fucking weird everybody else was, it'd be fucking carnage, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? You know, just, obviously we can only speak for ourselves, right? So let's just take you, for example, right? Whoever you happen to be listening to this now. Think of some of the fucking mayhem that you'll never tell anybody about that goes on in your head, huh? And that's just you, and you think you're quite fucking sane, don't you? You think you're quite normal. Some of the stuff that goes on in your head is fucking mayhem. So imagine proper fucking psychos. Fucking God only knows what's going on in people's heads. God only fucking knows. Hello?
Hi, you're through to the story people. No one's available to take your call at the moment, but please leave your name, telephone number, and a short outline of your story, and we'll get straight back to you. Please speak after the tone. When you are finished recording, You may press the hash key for further options or simply hang up.
Oh yeah, my name's Jez Wilson. A friend of mine's been having an affair with the actor Ewan McIntosh. And McIntosh has been trying to persuade my friend to do ship blisters, which are obviously illegal. Now my friend wants to go to the papers with this story, because obviously he feels humiliated by this request. So he's asked me to contact you with a view to seeing if any of the nationals would be interested. Obviously McIntosh, he was in the office, he was on Pointless tonight, and he has been featured quite strongly on Griff's Lonely Dollar lectures recently. Now, he's trying to get this chap to, basically inject feces under his skin, just under the skin, leave it until it forms into a blister, and then obviously he wants him to go squeeze in these blisters over young McIntosh. My friend's disgusted, but if you're interested in the story, feel free just to give me a ring. Okay, thanks. Yeah, and on a serious note, there's hopefully KD, the producer, has put the correct image up to accompany this lecture. There's a kid called Phoebe Flow. She's at my daughter's school, and you can have a look at the link, but she's got this medical thing going on, some sort of tumour, or basically they need to raise 40 grand for her to have a chance at this operation pioneering thing. The NHS won't pay for it because it's untested techniques apparently or something, but without it, this kid's going to die anyway, so her family are raising this money. Hopefully KD Lang, Phoebe Flow her name is, hopefully now KD Lang would have put the details of how to donate. Any lecturers, lecturoids, Grifflins, Griffoids, whatever you call yourselves these days. I know it keeps changing. If anybody wants to donate, go for it, because this is the situation we're in this life, that medical treatment to potentially save a child's life is not deemed, a priority in a country where we've just been fucking dropping billions of pounds of bombs on people for no good reason either. But you gotta do it yourselves, really. A similar thing happened before through work with a fundraising thing for this little girl to be able to walk, and from what I can gather, she had the operation and things are going really well, and you used to see updates on Facebook with physio and all that. But it's mad, isn't it? Imagine it was your child and you had to raise X. But if I had to raise 50 grand to potentially save my child's life, I'd just be out fucking mugging people, to be honest with you. Just do anything, I'd just do armed robberies, and just go in a bank and just say, look, give me 50 grand, no more, no less, bang, and probably get off on compassionate grounds as well, So, not whiter than white, I've tactically thought it through. Phoebe Flow, though, if you have a look on Facebook and all that business, you'll find it. But as I say, it was KD's idea, this bit, to put this up. I didn't know the bloke had a fucking heart, but there's one in there somewhere. We've organised a night at the cinema, actually. Next week there's a new cinema opened in Swansea Cinema Co. It's called. I've been there once. I went to, I think I may have mentioned it, that I was going. I went the other week to a horror film. It was this fucking some Swedish psychological mayhem. It was really good, but it's like this independent sort of cinema, do you know what I mean? There's only like one screen there, and it's run by this like sort of youngish dude and all that, and they had some sort of fundraiser for refugees there this week, and they do free films for kids on a Saturday, and it was just a really nice experience when I went there. This is before now they agreed to help us out on this fundraising thing we're doing for this kid. But it was the first time I've been to the cinema in a long time. You know, apart from when I go like with my daughter and my kids, or it was the first time I've actually enjoyed going to the cinema. Do you know what I mean? You know, not just the film, just the experience of going. They got these fucking great seats. They're made out of pallets. You know, they got these big cushions on them and on wheels, and you're practically sort of lying down and all that. It's really comfy. I was next to the chef watching this psychological thriller. Yeah, so we got a night arranged there as part of the fundraising thing. But yeah, you know, you'll see all the details on screen, as KD fucking Lang has said he'll do. You know, even if everybody who listens to this chucks a fiver in, what's that? 500 nicker? You know, another 500 nicker to their target. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to help. It's only I get the piss taken out of me by certain people if I get involved in any sort of charity things. I was called Saint Griff the other day. Oh, because Saint Griff. You don't care about anybody apart from yourself. Oh, Saint Griff. But, you know, look back through the records. Look at the Coke-a-thon. What a marvellous event that was. The Coke-a-thon of 2014, I believe, wasn't it? October the 26th, 2014. Coke-a-thon, you know. So I do my charity work quietly, do you know what I mean? But sometimes when other people are doing it, you gotta shout your mouth off. You know, Week on the Street, another great charity I'd recommend you get behind. Lads Without Dads. I know a couple of people who run their own charities. A thankless fucking task, man. Do you know what I mean? It must be, you know, to relentlessly be trying to raise money and that. You know, I've done it sort of briefly for a few weeks or whatever, you know, like with the Coke-a-thon and other things. You get like obsessed by it. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing it for, especially if you're doing it for, well, if you're not doing it for a good cause, you're fucking nuts. But if you're doing it for something, you know, important or whatever, or you care about, you get fucking obsessed by it. So yeah, Phoebe Flow, Week on the Street, Lads Without Dads. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to give money. You know, you can just you can organise something for these people. You can organise some sort of event, you know, where people will spend money because they get like the cinema thing. People, you know, you're not constantly saying, "Give me some money for nothing. Give me some money." Fucking organise something for these people, you tight cunts. What's the matter with you? Thanks. That's the end of KD's charity appeal anyway, right? But details will be on the screen. Highly recommend that you do anything you can to help. God, I consider myself intelligent on some level, but sometimes I am thick as fuck. I just saw on Facebook now, where's that gone? It said 34 killed in a car bomb attack in Ankara in Turkey. And the first thing I thought, right, was fucking that must have been a fucking massive car. I was thinking of like one of those limos. I was thinking you wouldn't get 34 on a fucking limo. Stretch limo. You know, you could probably squeeze 34 in, but if you rang up one of those limo companies and said, "Oh, yeah, it's 34 of us open to get in," you'd have fucking no chance, do you know what I mean? They'd probably tell you need to hire about 3 cars. 4 maybe. 3 probably. But yeah, 34 killed in a car bomb attack, and the first thing I thought was, fucking, how big's that car? But that's obviously awful. Turkey, strange place, isn't it? Don't know what to make of those characters anymore. anymore. Or not like the old days when I knew what to make of them. As I said, my ability to remember things, also a knack of being very judgmental and combination of lots of other things. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this world, really, to be honest with you. I'm very poorly educated and I've no real grasp of history. Somebody said something to me, I think it was old KD Lang again, he may have been, he's one of the few people I speak to, but what was he on about now? Not ship blisters, like the Spanish Inquisition, he was talking about that as if, apart from I'm aware of the phrase, the Spanish Inquisition, I don't know fuck all else about it, you know what I mean? That's about it, Oh yeah, the whole Spanish Inquisition, Christ. Is that when the Spanish fucking wanted to know everything, you know what I mean? But people seem to, well, not people, but a lot of people seem to just have this sort of knowledge of history, and I can't remember. The only thing I can remember is who won the FA Cup between about 1976 and about 1985. It's the only thing I seem to be able to remember, apart from my two jokes. I see they're still selling Linda McCartney sausages. She must have been fatter than she looked. I can always remember that now, for some reason. My other one, bad day for athletics. Mo Farah's just tested positive for corn. It's another one I can always remember. I get that joke out about every 6 weeks or more if it can be slightly relevant. The other joke I remember is my daughter's one. Knock, knock, who's there? The interrupting cow, the interrupting moo. I don't know if that translated well to this medium, but it's my daughter's joke. It took me about 2 hours to teach her that. A fucking knock, knock joke. Not so much the joke, to teach her the point of the joke, She was not interrupted. When I was trying to explain to her, you have to interrupt. But yeah, she got it sussed in the end. So yeah, I can remember that. What else can I always remember? Phone numbers of people I bought drugs off 10 years ago. There's a lot of those I can't seem to forget. But no, it does make lecturing it's why I'm not actually lecturing professionally, I've been offered, since the start of these lectures, I've been offered a series of lecturing roles professionally. But obviously it'd be specialising, certain topics. But I've had to turn it all down, purely because I rarely know what the fuck they're talking about. This is the problem with breaking into the job market, and I've always, I've maintained that since I left school, I just left school and joined the remedial class, and I've been there ever since. And obviously my jobs have reflected that. Now I'm at the age now where even as remedial as I can be in society, or the position I grant myself in it for whatever fucking twisted reason, I relegate myself thus. But, I'm getting to the age where even I can't be in the remedial class anymore. I'm older than the fucking janitor. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the young fucking punk. I'm all about the one who's been there since before the school was fucking built. So it makes finding work difficult. Not finding work, because I'm not even looking, but thinking of what I should be doing, as a career. I'm too young to be a lollipop man. You know, there's no money in it. I'd love to do that. If we could do that sort of 8 hours a day, taking home about £600 or £700 a week is fucking worse jobs than being a lollipop man. Do you know what I mean? Fuck's sake. But apparently now they're cutting them back to a couple of hours a day now. Councils are. You know. Leighton James is a good lollipop. He used to play for the Swans, but apparently he was a great lollipop man. But I think he had to do it as part of some sort of community service, fucking order. So, you know, whereas years ago, being a lollipop man would be a career, now it's just something they get a load of old crims doing just to save another few quid. And it deprives people like me of, you know, I wanted to be a milkman. You know, I spent... between the age of 13 and the age of about 19, doing all the training, you know, learning about different types of milk. You got to do, it's like the knowledge for taxi drivers, you know, in Swansea. In the 80s, to have a milk round, you had to do what was called the knowledge. You had to know your way around, you know, Swansea. All the different postcodes if you could qualify to be a milkman. I studied all that, you know, 6 years, and learned how to drive one of the floats. You know, learned about milk vouchers, you know, for people on benefits or people who are pregnant, free milk, you know, learned who qualifies and how to identify somebody who qualifies, you know, how to... You know, use the milk vouchers in exchange for cash and take it off the bill, all that. So, you know, all the paperwork side of it, but, you know, also the float, you know, driving the float, not as easy as it looks when you've got, you know, hundreds of gallons of milk on board. Also, I was looking to, you know, not branch out, but like the old school milkman, you know, they do a bit of bacon. You know, obviously your orange juices. But a lot of them would have a little sort of, like a sort of refrigerated area at the front, and, you know, they could be selling all sorts. So I was looking, obviously, to sell milk, but, you know, a bit of bacon and eggs, you know. You know, get in touch with a local farmer's market or something like that. So be selling quality product and, you know, out the front, and milk, cheeses, butters. And I was going to have the plan was for about 150 floats across the country. Planned it for years, got myself qualified, had the backers in place, etc., etc. Next minute, Tesco start stocking milk. Now, you know, for a lot of you, for me to say that, Tesco stocking milk, you just think, oh, well, yeah, of course they do. That's what they do. Well, no, it's not what they used to fucking do. Milkman used to do that. Yeah. Oh, when that happened, I'd already ordered the floats, 150. Luckily, only 24 had been actually built. I'd taken money off franchisees. I'd organised farmers markets all over the country to buy the cheese, the bacon, eggs, everything like that. And it collapsed overnight, you know. And the supermarkets started selling milk and when they first started selling milk, they were selling it a lot cheaper than they do now, you know, pound for pound. They were undercutting the milkman so vastly at the time that we couldn't compete. And all in all, that business cost me, conservative estimate, in excess of £2.6 million. Not all my own investment. But all my own responsibility. As you can imagine, I was 23 years of age. I was 23 when that happened. And absolutely devastated me for years. Years and years. Don't know if you remember that song with the floaters called Float On. Well, friends can be cruel. And when my mates heard that I had ordered 150 floats, 24 had been built, and I was no longer going to be franchising milk floats. Every time I go in the pub, they'd be like, float, float on, float on, float on. Half the time I just turn around and walk out. I couldn't bloody face it. Couldn't face it. But yeah, you know, so people talk to me about Tesco's. You know, if you want to talk to me about Tesco's, talk to me about milk floats. Talk to me about 24 sparkling fucking units waiting to be collected. Talk to me about 126 being ordered. Talk to me about 46 franchisees having paid deposits. Talk to me about 10,000 man-hours of knowledge, research all over the country. You know, talk to me about visiting 84 farmers markets. Talk to me about personally tasting about 80 different sausages. You know, and then talk to me about getting a job, yeah. So when people talk about fucking benefits, ESA, you know, I had a fucking dream. Yeah, hello Mark, it's Vincent Mandem here. I contacted you regarding the ship blistering you in Macintosh story. Was it yourself dealing with that?
What was the story about again, sorry?
You and Macintosh, the Chinese student, and the ship blistering.
No, I don't remember that, I'm afraid.
Right, because, what's your name, did you say, Vincent?
Mark.
Oh, right.
Are you sure it was us that you contacted?
Yes, somebody here spoke to somebody there yesterday. Now, the Chinese lad involved, he's a lodger of mine. He's asked me to contact you back now because his English isn't great. But he's been offered large amounts of money by, you know, famous actor Ewan McIntosh to perform, you know, what they call in these circles ship blistering, which is a very sordid sexual practice. Now, my lodger, Lung, he's petrified. He feels under pressure to perform this sort of, this act. And, you know, he's asked me to sort of try and publicise it, you know, as a way of basically getting Macintosh away from him with these sort of suggestions, you know.
So who is this person, you and Macintosh?
Yeah, he was in the office. He played Keith, the fat one, you know, the one who said Scotch eggs.
Oh, I see.
And I think he was on Pointless the other night as well. This is why this, you know, it's cropped back up. It's my...
And how old is your lodger?
20.
And how has this person contacted him then?
Well, originally, he was helping Ewan to learn to speak a bit of Chinese. You know, they met through mutual friends. It started off... Ewan was receiving some basic Chinese sort of lessons with Lung. That's how they met originally, because I think Ewan was going to play some sort of Chinese emperor in an upcoming role, and he had to learn a little bit of Chinese for that.
How long ago was this?
Pardon?
How long ago was this?
What, when they first met?
Yes.
9 months, 8 or 9 months?
Okay. And how has the person communicated his wish for your lodger to do these things?
Well, he's asked him when they've been together. He sent videos to his Facebook page, to his inbox, not publicly, but he sent videos of other people ship blistering to Lung's inbox. That's how he was originally alarmed, because it's obviously quite a disgusting sort of practice.
What is it again?
It's called shit blistering. It's basically the art of... well, what you do, you draw some feces up into a syringe, you inject it just below the surface of the skin, you leave it there then for a few days to form into a sort of crusty blister, and then what these people tend to do then, at the point of orgasm, they'll get their sort of sexual partner to actually burst one of their shit blisters over them, usually, you know, over the genitals or facial area.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like it.
No, neither had I until showed me the video. You know, I watched it several times. It was foul.
What you need for this story to work, to be able to prove that it's you and Macintosh who has made these suggestions or sent these things to the inbox.
Yeah.
So you need to have a look at that, see if there are any identifying.
Well, he sent it from his.
Email address.
He sent it from his personal account. You know.
Right. Okay.
You know, they're Facebook friends.
And what evidence do you have of that? You're going to need the links to the messages that he sent.
Well, yeah, you know, he's taken a screenshot of that in case it gets deleted anyway.
Well, could you send me the screenshot so I can have a look at it, and then I'll make my own checks on whether just a newspaper will say that they have to check for certain that it's him, you see.
Oh yeah, we can prove that beyond any doubt whatsoever. You know.
Okay. Well, if I give you my email address.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mark, M-A-R-K.
With a K. Yeah.
Yeah, at.
Yeah.
A for kilo.
Yeah.
N for November.
Kilo November.
S for Sierra.
Yeah.
News, N-E-W-S.
Mark at KNS News. Yeah.
.co.uk.
That's lovely. Okay, well, I'll forward that straight on now.
Yeah. Well, what I need you to do is get anything, texts, emails, any other message that he's sent to your lodger. Find those so that we can identify them as coming from him, and then send all them to me. And I'll have a look at them, right? Sorry, what's your name?
Lance Boyle.
Lance Boyle, B-O-Y-L-E.
Wiley, yeah.
And this is the number to get you on?
You can contact me on this number, yeah. When I email you, what I'll do, I'll put Lung's number on that as well.
All right.
Because obviously if you want to speak to him directly, but his English isn't great. Pardon?
Whereabouts are you in the country?
Well, I'm in Coventry. Lung's up in London today, but I'll be going back to London tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, if you can put all that into action, and we'll have a look at it and see what we can do to out this revolting gentleman. Okay.
Lovely. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Right.
Thank you, Mark. I'll get on to that today.
Thanks a lot.
Bye now.
Bye now. Bye.
Yeah, cheers, bud.